I know we were expecting some new developments this weekend, but some of them have failed quality control. Make sure you indicate what you'd like redeveloped via the workstation.
Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new video and yet another episode of my F1 2018 career mode. And today we are here for round number 11 for the Hockenheim return and the German Grand Prix return onto the F1 calendar. And if you guys did miss the last race for the British Grand Prix, my personal home race, then do go check it out by clicking the card in the top right hand corner of your screen, because it was a very entertaining race, a very intense race, and myself and Pierre Gasly really going to war. And you know, the rivalry between us two is starting to really get to a bit of a tension point now. So I do urge you guys to go check that one out for yourselves if you have missed it. But meanwhile, in the background, you would have heard Carl give us the update on the R&D parts, making us realise that one of the parts has failed, and in this case, it's one of the front wing upgrades. So hopefully we can repair that at the end of this episode. But ultimately, we still have a couple of upgrades still on the car engine related, so that's good news for us. And also, you just saw in the background as well the R&D chart as things stand right now in the season with all the development. Now, we jump into Friday practice here at the Hockenheim, and it's a track that I really enjoy. I don't really, there's always that debate of, do you prefer the old layout, do you prefer the new one? I don't really care. I find them both the same. They're both enjoyable and unique in their own right, because with the current layout, I do quite enjoy the Mercedes-Benz grandstand section, where that wasn't there before. So it's got its pros and cons, but overall, I enjoy the Hockenheim. I think it's a great circuit, and it's one that I always look forward to racing at. And we're back here for the first time in 2 years. We didn't race on here in F1 2017 with the 2017 regulation cars, with these new really fast generation F1 cars. So I'm looking forward to getting the car shaken down and getting to grips with this circuit. And you can see in practice right now, we're currently on the practice programs doing, in this case, the race strategy test. And to be fair, we smashed every program. The car felt great, and I felt very happy with how the car's performing around this circuit, and it gave me a lot of confidence to really want to push. And also, it seems like the upgrades are now really starting to pay off, because we seem to be very quick, and I mean easily top 10 contender quick. Myself and Gasly really had some great pace, and you could really notice, when we was doing these laps in practice, and ultimately when the session ended as well.
Okay, super job so far. We're getting great data. Stay focused.
We were well inside the top 10, and as you can see on screen, we smashed every single program pretty much, and we carry a lot of positive vibes and momentum going into qualifying on Saturday. Now, on qualifying itself, I wasn't sure what to expect, because, everyone turns up their engines, and we tend to just lack a little bit compared to the AI, with this 100 power unit in the back of this Toro Rosso. So, I was a bit, not negative, but I was coy, I was keeping my feet on the ground. I wasn't getting too ahead of myself, even though practice looked very good. So with that in mind, we'll see what happens. There is rain expected tomorrow in the race. It's going to be a completely wet race, the first completely wet race of the season. So there is no point taking into account tyre wear, how much we save the tyres on our lap, or whether how much we push, or do we try maybe a soft compound tyre. There's literally no point in tyre saving, which is good news. So we can absolutely go for it, and hopefully it can go well for us. Like I said, it's interesting to see. It's rare that we have this sort of pace. I've got to say, the last time we had this sort of pace, I'd probably say was Spain, and maybe even not China. Like we're that level of quick around here. So I felt a lot of confidence. And straight away in Q1, we're coming towards the end of my first and actually only attempt, because this lap was easily good enough, and we jump up into P9, and that is going to see us comfortably through into the second part of qualifying. As you can see there, eventually we would end up in P10. Pierre Gasly, really good result, and he's well inside the top 8, so fair play to him. And like I mentioned, we just got some good pace, and overall feeling very confident as we now go into Q2. Now this was actually my best lap in the session, so we're going to ride on board for the entirety of the lap, because it was a very damn good lap. We did cut turn 1 slightly, but luckily I didn't get my lap invalidated, so for me that's fair enough. As you can see now, turn 2, sector 1, I was extremely strong at. It was my strongest sector by an absolute mile. I could go purple every single lap through there. I think because of turn 1, we're pretty quick. I mean, in that scenario we did cut, but even when I don't cut, I take the corner normally, we don't struggle. But as you can see, currently the lap's going pretty damn well, no mistakes so far. So we're now going to the hairpin, nice and tidy through there. A lovely bit of traction, 0 wheel spin, which is exactly what you want, as we now go through the right-hand kink into the Mercedes-Benz grandstand section, and braking as late as you can here. There's a lot of time to gain if you brake really late here and get it perfect on the power. Trying to keep it flat out through this right swooping right-hander if you can to gain maximum time. And we're only a couple of tenths down, as you can see on Bottas here, so it's a very good lap as we now go into the stadium section on the limit of grip. Now going down the gears where Vettel crashed on the right-hand side in the real-life Grand Prix. Picking up the power on the exit, no wheel spin whatsoever, beautiful traction as we now go into the penultimate corner, and now pretty much keeping it as wide as you can to now feed the car through the final bend and then use all the exit road that you need and open up the DRS up to the end of the line, and it's going to be P6, not too bad, and sorry, P4, and not too bad there, and eventually would finish in P5 in the session, and Pierre Gasly also gets through in P10, but we was definitely a lot faster than Pierre, and we definitely stepped up the levels in that Q2 session. And speaking now of Q3, our only second ever Q3 appearance in this career mode, as we only ever did that at China before, and our first lap was pretty damn good. We go P3, which is pretty good, but then we drop down to P7, and basically we're trying to beat Hockenheim here because there's a bit of a gap to the top 3 teams. So this was my best lap in Q3, so we're going to run a ball with it, and so far turn 1 this time absolutely perfect, no corner cutting involved. Now through turn 2, little lock up on the right front there, but luckily it doesn't disturb me too badly, and we're still up on the delta. Purple first sector, maximum time gainer. So far we're on for a good lap. DRS wide open on the curved back straight, and you're pretty much looking for the 100 meter board here on the left hand side for the hairpin. You want to go down to second gear and make sure you pick up your apex. You could use first if you wanted to, that comes down to preference. I prefer second because I get a better drive off of the corner. Then going through the gears, 0 ball spin out the hairpin yet again through the flat out kink, and now into the Mercedes-Benz grandstand, braking as late as you dare. Third gear, pick up your apex. I got a little bit wide, a little bit of understeer kicking in there, so we have to make up for lost time, really this time keeping it flat out to the limit of the grip through the right hander there. And now going into the grandstand section, absolutely full commitment through here, brilliant speed carried, and now braking super extra late for this banking left hander, using the natural camber in the corner to get the nose in. Now going through the little chicane section, and now finally the final 2 corners on the limit here, as wide as you can, really carrying the speed through out the final corner, keep it within the track limits, open up DRS and up to the line, and it is going to be P6 for us.
We're very happy with that position. Well done.
Very good qualifying, cannot complain, and we pretty much are best of the rest. We beat Hockenheim, so that's a massive bonus for us. And I think one of the big boys actually got knocked out in Q2, so we're starting on the 3rd row, which is fantastic for us, alongside Max Verstappen. So very good qualifying session, very, very happy, best qualifying session of the season, and now let's see if we can convert it to a good race result.
Good afternoon and welcome to a place that is very special to us all in the Formula One community. It's the Hockenheim Ring, home of the German Grand Prix. Always good for a close scrap is Hockenheim. Think back to Alonso, Ricciardo, Vettel as recently as 2014, and I'm expecting some more strong racing today. It's 2.8 miles around the Hockenheim Ring then, and some fairly wet conditions to overcome on this 17-corner circuit. The long curved back straight leads into a tight hairpin for the best overtaking opportunity, but expect to see the cars running wide, as braking offline could prove very difficult indeed. With me today, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk briefly about Kimi Räikkönen. Looks like they've got a tough race in store today, as grid penalties from changing power unit components has forced them further down the field.
But on the bright side, at least those fresh components can help them maintain the power they need to come through the pack. I expect to see them take a more aggressive approach today to make up for the compromised start.
Right then, here we are on the grid at Hockenheim, P15, after we took a gearbox penalty. Now, I didn't realise we dropped so far. I thought a gearbox was only 5 places, not 10, so that definitely caught me off guard, but I had to take the penalty because my gearbox was nearly 70% worn, and as we saw in Monaco, you can't take that risk, so we just had to go for it, and hopefully we can have a good race. You might be wondering, why didn't I take an engine penalty? Well, it's very simple. I want to keep that element of having to conserve my engine and be realistic with my engine over the season, and also, you know, take some penalties because I find it fun to sort of mix it up a bit and sometimes start from the back to break up the races and break up the status quo and have some different races to what we're used to. But P15, as you can see, is absolutely chucking it down like it was just after the real life German Grand Prix in real life this year. And looking at the race strategy, as you see on screen right now, we have full wets for the foreseeable future and then potential to go into inters towards the second half of the race. So with that in mind, obviously we're going to try and see if we can potentially, you know, try and get those wets to the intermediate period. Fuel wise, we're going to really lighten the car up. I'm going to go underneath, 1 lap under, really be nice and light and aggressive at the start because I don't really use rich mix in the wet weather. So hopefully that plays into our hands nicely and hopefully we can have a good race. I feel confident we've got good pace around here, as you saw in qualifying. Whether we have that same pace in the wet, that remains to be seen. But I feel confident and I fancy my chances. So let's have a good race. Let's get ourselves back into the top 10 and take it from there and try and beat Pierre Gasly here. And yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's time for the German Grand Prix. Let's go. Right then, here we go. Let's get ready for the 5 red lights. Our first wet race of the season. Lights out and away we go. It's a good start actually. very poor visibility, it has to be said. I can't see a thing. This is the first time I'm racing the wet, and the visibility is extremely poor. Ricardo and Ocon come to blows there, so we make a triple overtake into turn 1, getting past Roman Grosjean as well in the process. I love how poor the visibility is. That's a massive visual upgrade for this year's game. Here we go, getting a nice exit there. Car feels very light and nimble already as we get alongside Fernando Alonso. What are we like for the straight line speed? Alonso picking up the toe of a Sergio Perez here, so we're going to have to dip back in for a second helping of slipstream. Alonso goes late on the brakes. I go even later up the inside of Perez as well into the top 10 on the power. Squeeze out Perez.
That's a decent start. Good job.
It is a decent start already. I love how the car feels in these weather conditions. I think we can definitely be aggressive here today and attack people. Car feels very nimble, very light, and obviously engine power is not really a factor in these conditions, so we're going to massively benefit from the extra grip we have. And there you go, we get past Stoffel and we're already into P9, so brilliant recovery. Let's keep it going here. I purposely did a setup, as I mentioned before, for this race. I put in a lot more downforce than what I would have done for qualifying, because I knew this rain was coming, and I just wanted to be competitive in the race, and that's exactly what we are so far. We definitely seem to have some good pace early on here.
The heavy rain will pass in about 5 minutes. We'll then be working with light rain conditions. Full wets seem like the best tyre for now.
There we go, confirmation on the weather. Pretty surprising though, the heavy rain will end in 5 minutes. That's caught me off by surprise, so it's going to be interesting this in terms of conditions and how the racing plays out. You might be thinking, why am I not using the battery? I'm just saving it because when I get close to a car, I want to just max out the battery power and get the job done, because we have no DRS, so there's a good opportunity to go racing, and you know, when we make the move we can make it stick by using the battery power. So I'm happy to just save up the battery. Oh geez, keep the battery nice and recharged, and then we can really deploy it when we need to. Right now you can see Pierre Gasly is best of the rest, and he's got the 2 Renaults behind, then I'm behind the 2 Renaults. So right now it definitely seems a battle of Renault versus Toro Rosso for best of the rest here at Hockenheim, which is very, very exciting. Hopefully we can come out on top. Another personal best.
Teammate ahead is 2.5 seconds.
We're looking quick here. I do feel like whenever I want to and I deploy the battery, I'm going to really close up that gap. So I'm in no rush to make the moves. I'm also focusing on trying to save my tyres, because if I can go straight into the intermediate, that's going to be a game-winning strategy potentially. So it's important that we keep our cars close to our chest. Every lap, everyone's getting faster and faster here. Seems like the weather is improving slightly, or at least the track conditions are. They're still certainly chucking it down, but we're looking good. I'm liking this. I feel confident. I feel like I can pick up the pace if I really wanted to. I'll be relying on a little bit of engine power though, a little bit of ERS to make it happen, but I definitely can pick up the pace if I want to. And also the Renaults are starting to put the pressure on Pierre, so it might be time for us to really pick up the pace a little bit now and try and help my teammate out at the same time. Use it as an opportunity to overtake all 3 of these guys. Another personal best. I'm improving 0.2 every lap here, and I'm not changing any fuel mixture. I'm just finding pace and getting more and more confident every single lap. And you can now see pretty much visually we are a lot closer. Sainz's name tag is permanently on now, so we're starting to close up to these guys now. Oh, yellow flag. It's one of the 3 cars. Oh damn, it's Pierre Gasly. I mean, in a way that's unfortunate, because we was on with some good points as a team. I'm going to beat him, but that's not the way I wanted it to happen.
Green flag.
Can't pass Sainz there because of the yellow flag. Had to back out of it, but not ideal for us as a team. Pierre was looking very good with some good points with me. Hopefully we could have both got best of the rest. I just wanted to finish ahead of him. You know, the rivalry is pretty fierce between us at the moment, and I'm loving it. And it's a shame that he's dropped out. I was relishing the battle against him. Either way, we're up into P8 now, so we've got to fly the flag for Toro Rosso here. So let's try and get past Sainz.
The car behind by around a second a lap.
Sainz is vulnerable. He's not really got much of a tow from Hülkenberg. So now's my chance to deploy all of this battery power that I've been saving up. So here we go. Onto the back straight. Patience now into overtake. Give it the full beans here. There we go. Starting to pick up the slipstream now on Carlos. Up the inside. Goes for the little squeeze, but we do make the move anyway. Going to squeeze him out on the exit. Nice and wide onto the curb.
Let's use some of this energy. Increase the ERS deployment. You're now in P7. P7.
Beautiful move. P7. Up next, Nico Hülkenberg. Let's try and hunt him down and get that P6. The worst of the rain seems to have passed now. It's definitely switched to just a light rain, so lap times are going to drop a little bit more now, I think. Will we still have the pace? Let's find out.
Our data shows that tyres are okay right now. We anticipate good levels of grip for the next few laps at least.
He says that, but I am slowly cooking my rears a little bit more. Rears are near 25%, fronts are near 20, so the rears are definitely getting a bit more of a workout here, but we're doing okay. Pace is good, we're on for another personal best. 27.3, there we go. And we are closing down Hockenheim here. I'm starting to turn up the engine power now and pick up the pace a bit, because Hockenheim is pretty much the exact same carbon copy pace as me when I'm running default engine mode. So we're going to start picking it up now and try and put the pressure on, see if we make some mistakes. I'm going to risk cooking my tyres up a little bit more, but I want to see if I can close up the gap. Right, we've just been offered the intermediate tyre switch, so I think it's that time. Time for the intermediates, I feel. Let's see if the AI come in though. Right then, let's come to the pit lane. Hockenheim comes in. Some of the AI cars have also come in. Drifting in. I'm in lean mix already here. Get it all slowed down. There we go. Beautiful pit entry. Looks like there's not that much traffic, so there shouldn't be that much of a cluster in the pit lane. And let's see. Here we go. Hopefully hold up Hockenheim a little bit. Nice quick stop from the boys. 2.3, not too bad. Onto the inters. And we're going to come out of some traffic, so that's going to be our opportunity to really close up the gap to Hockenheim here.
One stop left in this strategy.
Right, let's see. Let's put these tyres to work. Let's see if we can get past Leclerc here. Let's see what the grip levels are like. Feels okay. I mean, it feels a bit on the knife edge. Got to be careful.
The team to shift up through the gears earlier. They think it'll save fuel.
Right, there we go. Car feels good. Straight for the move on Charles Leclerc here. On the back straight, that Saab is bloody fast in a straight line. I'm running very wide here. I'm going to have to bring it back in. I overestimate the amount of grip I'd have. Oh man, it's so close. Right, come on. Power ahead. Just had to pinch him there. Had to pinch Leclerc just to make it stick. Right, now let's go hunt down Hockenheim while he gets held up in that traffic. We're going to have a couple of corners to really close up that gap. Right, all the cars are coming into the pit lane now, so we're going to recover all those positions hopefully. A little bit wide through there, just clipping the DRS board, track extension warning. Back up to P9. Looks like we've been jumped by a Haas and a McLaren, it seems, unless they haven't come in yet. Interesting. Okay, I don't think Magnussen has come in for Inters yet. That'd be my guess. Or that McLaren. Let's find out. Yeah, there we go. Magnussen comes into the pit lane. He's going to really feed Hockenheim into my path though. And McLaren comes in as well. And here we go then. It's race time. We're up close and personal with Nico Hockenheim here. This might be our chance. Good run through turn 1. Overtake. Engaged. Now you've got to just play it nice and cool through here. Take it nice and easy. On the power. Now get the pedal down. There we go. Overtake. Come on. Hockenheim definitely running some higher engine mode because he's bloody fast on the straight. Hot on the brakes again here. Going to run very wide on purpose to avoid the switchback. And there we go. Textbook maneuver. And we are now best of the rest in P6. We've recovered from our gearbox penalty, so that is it. What a fantastic opening half to the race. Well deserved. Alright, we're running at a strong pace now into the mid 24s. That's the far side of the Grand Prix is 24.3, so the race pace I'm running at is very strong here on these inters so far. Running at a very strong pace here. We're leaving Hockenheim behind. 24.
17.4 seconds.
24.1. That would have been a fastest lap, but Vettel just set at 23.6. But you can still see our race pace is strong, especially when we're switching up to the higher engine mode, which is what I've been doing, using some overtake because I've got so much battery deployment. You barely use the RS around here.
Target
so
-1. Let's turn the engine down, please.
It's an absolute privilege. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it in high and try and run some lead mix to try and save fuel and get back on target, I think.
Okay, we're low on fuel. Try shifting up the gears a little sooner. This should help us save some fuel.
running at a strong pace here. I can maintain this level, which is good.
You're increasing the gap on the car behind by 0.5 per lap.
There you go. Even with me running some lean mix through some corners to try and get back on target for fuel, we are keeping up the high level here, so this is very good so far. Well, I just did the whole lap in lean mix, got myself pretty much back on target whilst almost matching my personal best, so it goes to show how powerful overtake ERS is. But we're now going to run high and standard for the foreseeable future. I feel super nimble and light around the circuit now.
10 minutes left of this rain, then we think it's going to dry up. 10 minutes.
Interesting, 10 minutes time.
Box, box, we're coming in this lap.
I'm scheduled to come in 10 minutes, that's going to be touch and go, I think. I mean, I've got the tyres for it. I think I have, anyway, let me check. Yeah, we've got the tyres for it, but, you know, 10 minutes from now, I mean, we're looking at like lap 30, I'd say, so I'm not sure what to do. Right, I think I'm just going to come in and play it safe. There's no real cars around us except for the two Renaults, so we won't lose that much time if we have to stop for dryers again, but all the big boys have come in and I think it's the safest bet, so we're just going to come in for a set of dry tyres, intermediates, and just play it safe. You know, we're best of the rest, so we might as well hold on to the position at the end of the day. That's what matters the most. So we're not going to get held up in the pit lane, so it's basically almost a free stop, essentially, so I'd be stupid not to take it. We've only lost one place anyway, as you can see, so...
Up to speed now. Let's get some heat into those tyres.
Right, let's crack on with it. Ricardo behind us, but he's on worn inters. And I was matching Verstappen on my used ones just now in that final stint, so I know I can stay ahead of Ricardo, no problem. Right, Ricardo comes in, as does Carlos Sainz. And we are going to recover our original position with the fastest final sector as well. Right, this is looking very good so far. I'm very happy with this race. Just over 10 laps to go. Let's bring this one home. 23.4, fastest final sector. Bottas into the fast lap of the Grand Prix with 23.0, so good pace. Very happy. The car is absolutely phenomenal drive from Verstappen. It only just came in, so he's actually lost quite a bit of time, and he's probably, I'd say, within 6 seconds of me. So we've gained a little bit in that pit stop phase. Another personal best, another fastest final sector. Got to Verstappen though. 9.3 seconds.
The track is drying, but it's going to take a while to clear the standing water off the line. Don't start thinking about slicks just yet.
So basically, I'd just say we settle for this position, to be honest with you, unless we get a bit of a manic last 2 or 3 laps with the slick tyres. So I'm just going to cruise, to be honest with you. I'm going to keep it in high because I can afford to. The battery's not running out, so it's all under control at the moment. Look at that, fast lap of the Grand Prix. I was using a little bit of overtake to really pick up the pace, but even still, it goes to show we're actually pretty damn good around here, and the car is phenomenal to drive. Right now, really starting to slow down here, and almost stopped in its entirety. And the track, you can see there's some just dryness appearing. It's looking very patchy, so it could be.
The fastest man on the track at the moment. The gap to the car ahead is 10.0 seconds.
It could be dry tyres. Yellow flag. You see in sector 2. I think that's a Mercedes that's got a problem. Is it? It's Lewis Hamilton, the championship leader. Is he out of the race with 3 laps to go, or does he have a puncture? Let's wait and see. He is out. Hamilton's out of the German Grand Prix with a puncture and probably some sort of engine issue. He really slowed down there. Never is on the left-hand side. So we're going to take P5 this race. Absolutely incredible. The championship leader is out of the German Grand Prix Mercedes home race. That's going to really bring the championship race together at the top of the table. Okay, the rain seems to have pretty much stopped now at Hockenheim with 2.5 laps to go. Will there be a need to go into dry tyres, or can we get on these inters to the end?
Behind is 10.1 seconds.
I'm not going to come in, but my gut tells me I could have probably come in there. But because I'm in P5, I just want to bring on this result and play it safe. This is now going to be a challenge because we need to find those wet parts on the track to cool the tyres.
High. Let's increase ERS deployment to up the pace.
We need these wet patches to cool the tyres because we know how overheating works in this game. Once you overheat your tyres, you lose all form of grip, and it's going to be really bad in these sort of conditions. So we need to try and find those wet patches and try and stay off the racing line, and also be very smooth on the throttle and brake. The track is pretty much bone dry, has to be said. A little bit of spray being kicked up, but I mean, surely the dry tyres can handle this, but still, the inters don't fall that bad, and I'm being very smooth. They're not overheating, and it's all been very much under control, which is good news. Fuel-wise, I think we're okay. Yeah, we're okay for fuel. Bell does a fires up right at the end, so fair play. His inters were holding up nicely. He wins his home race I think Hamilton was leading, so that's going to be double heartbreak for Lewis Hamilton and absolute joy for Sebastian. We are now cruising to the finish here for P5. It's been a very good race after starting from P15, gearbox change. Ultimately, wet conditions suited us quite nicely here, and we're going to come home for a well-deserved 5th place.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Right then, looking at the final race result, Sebastian Vettel wins his home race and he picks up a full 25 points ahead of Valtteri Bottas and Kimi Raikkonen. Max Verstappen P4, and we come home P5, best of the rest after Hamilton's retirement, Gasly's retirement, and also Ricciardo only managing P8 after starting from P14 on the grid. Now, a small little thing I noticed, if you look at the fastest laps, Vettel, Bottas, Raikkonen, Verstappen, myself, Ricciardo and also Hamilton, who's further down, we all had our fastest lap within a whole tenth. The top 7-8 cars, you could say, extremely close, and on their day, on that perfect lap, anyone could have been the fastest guy around here. But overall, very enjoyable. Renault scored a good double points finish with Hockenheim in his home race in P6, beating his teammate Carlos Sainz, who they just about managed to hold on and fend off Ricciardo right at the end. There was Sergio Perez and Fernando Alonso scoring the final points. Stoffel Van Dorn just missing out, and as you can see, Gasly and Hamilton, the 2 DNFs from the Grand Prix. Now, in terms of the driver standings, as you can see, Sebastian Vettel leaps up into 2nd place, overtakes Bottas, and because of that Hamilton retirement, the gap at the top is now really close. 11 points between the two 4-time world champions, and the top 4 are covered by 26 points, so it's extremely close. We are currently P7 and not too far behind, only 12 points behind Ricciardo, so we're doing okay, and we're putting some distance between ourselves and Esteban Ocon, who is 18 points behind. And obviously, with Gasly retiring, we are now 28 points ahead of my teammates, so a very good race weekend for us. In terms of the constructors, you can see we hold on to our 4th place and continue to keep that gap to full senior of around 15 points, give or take. And Renault are the ones that overtake Haas there for P6. But overall, a very good weekend for us, and especially for me. Unfortunately for Gasly, not so much. But overall, very enjoyable. And now we're going to move into the laptop to see if we can do some possible upgrades.
Good day today. Tell us about it from your perspective. You're breaking all expectations. What's your secret? You were cutting your way through the field during the race. Did you feel comfortable in the wet weather today? Appreciate your time.
Right then, here we are on the R&D screen. Now, pretty simple. We have no upgrades in process because they've all been done. We should have had an aero one which failed, so we're going to put that on the car straight away for the next race in Hungary, which we're going to need. And because it is Hungary, we're going to need that downforce. I'm going to go for yet another aero upgrade and get that front downforce with additional front wing cascade winglet. So we're going to have a nice double aero upgrade. We've still got 579 points to spend, which I could actually fork out on a chassis upgrade, and that could potentially make my car a little bit lighter and more nimble. I'm tempted to go for some tyre wear because that tyre wear is pretty heavy, so it's either that or make the car a bit more nimble and lighter. Oh, this is a bit of a tricky decision. Or do I go for weight redistribution? Yeah, I'm going to go for the tyre wear. I think that's the one that I fancy. Have a bit more, just have that ability to know I can push a bit and not have to worry about my tyre wear so much. So we'll have that upgrade coming in the next race. Then I have to realistically look at getting the gearbox reliability sorted out. But you can see on the R&D screen, those are the 3 upgrades that are coming. We should get pretty close to Renault, if not maybe just above them from what I can tell, and become the 4th best team. It's been upward trajectory all the way. Both Toro Rosso and Force India really bringing strong upgrades all season long. But we've definitely been pushing hard with the R&D. It's been an upwards trajectory for us, and it's been a fantastic season in terms of progress in R&D. And there's more to come, which is very exciting. So we're really making a big push here of Toro Rosso to really get them back to the front. And you can see now the powertrain is definitely our best our strongest trait, so we can now focus on the aero and the chassis a bit. So hopefully all goes well, but we also have to start focusing on reliability soon as well as we move into the second half of the season and the engines start to get a little bit second hand. But nonetheless, if you guys have enjoyed this episode of Career Mode, then please do drop a like on the video, and also do get subscribed for daily Formula 1 content. Please do turn on notifications to not miss a single upload from me. And yeah guys, check out these 2 videos on the screen also if you have missed them, and also there's a full playlist link to the full Career Mode down below in the description. But other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next episode very soon. Goodbye.